really important that we begin to change the mindset of young people to know that your vote counts.
They don't understand that the legislative arm of government is actually a co-equal arm of government.
We have an incredible amount of potential.
Whatever it is I was doing, because of my personal DNA, it had to be of an international standard, which is what, seriously speaking, is all about.
Welcome. This is the month of March. Most of this month, I will be talking to just women because it is the International Women's Month. Worldwide, people are celebrating women, and this year, the theme is gender parity. This means we may have overcome or broken the glass ceiling in some places, but are we at par with men in the organizations that we work? Well, I'm kicking off just a couple of days before the International Women's Day, which is 8th of March, bringing you the story of one woman who broke those barriers and is currently a director in one of the top multinationals in Nigeria today. She retired at 34, and she's still only 60 years old. But you see, she tells me her life is just beginning. You'll meet my guest in a short while if you don't go away. This is Seriously Speaking. You're welcome. Yes, welcome back. This is Seriously Speaking. My guest is my friend. So if you find me very relaxed with her, even more relaxed than others, don't blame me. You see, she was the first person, and I'm going to embarrass her by saying this before I tell you her name. She's laughing in the corner. Don't show her face yet. When I started my TV show called Today's Woman on television in NTA, she gave me the first commercial. I remember the amount of money it was. It was $350,000 for 1 year. But it was the first commercial I ever got. Now, why did that make an impact on my life? Simply because I walked into her office and I said, listen, this is what I'm doing. Not only did she agree to do it, she gave me ideas on how to do it better and get viewership for my show. So you must imagine how I feel that I'm inviting on set today somebody who has spent 34.5 years in one corporate organization. She didn't leave. She left that organization as the first female on the board of that organization because she was the marketing services director there. And she was also the first female marketing manager in that business. But in all of that time that she was there, 3 years ago, she began to do something that made it possible for her to be able to retire and know that life is not over. It's my pleasure to invite on set today, Iquoh Ukoh.
Yes, well, thank you.
It's nice to have you.
Thank you.
You know, you speak Yoruba so well. I know.
Oh, yes.
And did your hair, like the Yorubas would say, sorry, did your hair swell when you heard how the young women in Nestlé, the company you worked in for 34.5 years, treated you like you were gold? And then when they celebrated you when you turned 60, and people were saying those things about you, sorry,
I felt honored, honestly. I felt honored, and I was pinching myself to find out, was it me they were really talking about? Because for me, I was just living my life anyway and doing my job anyway. But, you know, that one has had this impact, you know, for me, it's an honor, you know, for me.
You know, but you started off, if I recall, you started off as, your youth service was with Bristol.
No, I was at National Institute for Medical Research. That was where I had my youth service. Of course, you know, my background is nutrition and dietetics, so a bit of science in that sense. So left there and then immediately came to Nestlé after NYSC. Yeah.
You didn't say that at Federal Palace too?
Yes, right out, it was something you needed to do whilst in school, dietetic internship. It required that you would have worked in a hotel and a hospital. So I chose to work in Federal Palace Hotel then.
Okay, I'm going this route because it's food that you're going back to.
Oh, yes.
But I'll come to that later. What I would like to find out from you, you know, typically people say if you stay 10 years in an organization, you're a goner. And you stay 34.5. How did you do it?
Let me talk about my generation, because I think this is something that was peculiar to my generation. It was okay, you know, to have that lateral movement. But today, I see that it has to be zigzag. Zigzag in the sense that you're in one organization for 2 years, you have to move out to another one for 3, 4, 5 years until, you know, you get to the top. However, for me, it was still zigzag within Nestlé, because I was not doing the same thing. You know, I came into Nestlé as a medical delegate or medical rep, as some companies called it then became the nutrition advisor, where I was preparing nutrition education materials for the field staff. And then, 1990, I then came into marketing proper when the opportunity presented itself. Of course, in marketing, yes, Maggie, but also at some point I was handling Milo, Nescafe, Golden Morn, and the rest of them, and then ended up with, you know, executing the activities of the marketing team. So you can see that it wasn't exactly one thing, you know, throughout that 34.5 years.
So, I mean, I know you say the years like they went by very quickly, but in that time, did you set out at the beginning that I am going to end up as a director in this company? So I'm going to work to get there.
For me, I wanted to get to the top. Whether it was going to be the director or not was a different thing. But as I continued in that journey, I then asked myself certain questions. If I was the manager, the country manager for this business,
Would I put me?
Yes. What was the responsibility going to be like? If I took the route of getting to the board, what were the responsibilities going to be like? So it's the question I asked myself throughout that journey. So it's about, yes, you want to get there, but what are the responsibilities along the line?
That's interesting because, I mean, I find that when I was listening, I mean, when those girls were talking about you, your junior staff members, your members, board members too, and they said something, you shared one information, which I found very interesting. Because you say you have a vision, but you also plan to get there.
Yes.
When they asked you to write what your dream, what you thought, you know, I can't remember exactly what it is, but you had, what you planned then happened. Tell me about it.
You know, like
was
I
that
said,
your appraisal form you were feeling or what?
No, the marketing manager then said, you know, we're getting into the 90s and the economic situation was not any different from what we see today. So he said, what did we see as our vision for the 90s? How do we think we should drive the business into the 90s?
You were in the marketing team at this point.
Exactly. At that point, I was not in marketing. I was, you know, the nutrition advisor, doing my nutrition education thing, but I had my eye on marketing.
Ooh.
So
did everybody know that?
Nobody knew. It was my personal objective. So when the opportunity then came, I wrote out those things because I had been observing what marketing was doing at that point, but I spoke the language.
What did you say?
I spoke the language of marketing. I was talking about market shares. I was talking about awareness. I was talking about, you know, the kind
what
of
they
things...
had to do differently.
Exactly.
To sell the product.
Exactly.
I'm very specific.
Absolutely. For each of the brands, you know, I spoke, you know, I suggested what to be done. And that was it. I mean, when you heard what I wrote then, you would have thought it was a marketing person that wrote it. So it's this thing about you're headed somewhere. There has to be a strategy. So that was my first strategy of getting into marketing.
Did that get you?
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
Immediately,
They called you, come.
Absolutely.
You see, you can sell Golden Moonlight.
Oh,
no,
yes.
I think that was what created how Golden Moon came alive.
Exactly.
Because then you have to produce a cereal that will identify with the pockets
of the families, and the fact that women had little time in the morning to prepare nutritious meals for their families. So that was it. So it's this thing about strategy. You want to get to the top, but what's your strategy?
But I also wonder, at this stage, you were in the corporate world, you raised 3 kids.
Yes.
And they all balance. No one don't craze, go rude, like they say. You know what I mean? You raised 3 kids.
I know.
So I don't know. People always say, is the husband support? Or because I just, you know, what worked for you? But you must have worked at it too.
For me, it's family, it's husband support, but also planning. Again, what is your vision? Do you want to end up with, I'm so, and so, and then you retire, and then you now have to manage dysfunctional children? You could go up, you know, but also continue to look down the ladder.
How did you manage to do that? Waking up at 5 a.m. every day?
Of course.
Your husband says you woke up at 4:30 every day.
I woke up very early, got the kids ready. I still had time for their homework. But, you know, as mobile phones came, I mean, for me, I think that's the greatest thing that happened to working women.
Okay.
So you can manage the home front from that end.
So they're lucky. They shouldn't complain, eh? But let me take a break because I really want to engage you on the Q platter. You know why I keep calling it IQ? Because your name is Iquoh.
I know.
Q platter.
Food platter, yes.
Food platter. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And also some of the things you will do going forward.
Okay.
We'll be back. Yes, welcome back. I'm still in the studio with Iquoh, my very good friend. Thank you for that advert. I never said thank you.
You're welcome.
So this is you.
Yes.
In your kitchen.
Yes.
Doing the 1Q platter.
Yes.
Now, you say it's only 3 years old. I don't believe that. Because you have more than 25,000 followers. How many, on Facebook, how many followers do you have? 60-something thousand.
62,000, yes.
And it was all in an attempt to skill up.
Yes. You know, in marketing, you know, for most of us, I think majority of our targets are young people. And so digital has just landed on some of us, the analog marketers. And I asked myself, do I need to go to a school for this? And I felt that the best way to unravel the digital space and the social media space was to get in there and have my own hands-on there. And that was how 1Q Food Platter actually started. And so today, I tell you, I can, you know, host some speaking engagements.
Honestly,
speaking engagements on that
I like
subject.
what you did. You chose something you're passionate about.
Absolutely.
That you find easy, that you could do at home. You turned into a photographer doing this, by the way.
Yes, food photographer, food stylist. And of course, okay, I was a good cook, you know, already. So I got my son, by the way, to teach me photography.
Yes, I'm surprised. And he went on to go and study photography.
Yes.
Thank you for watching. That's what the show's been like today. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And the rest of you. See you next week. Bye-bye.